They walked out of that draft with Bogdan Bogdanovic, which was better than Marquise Chris anyway.
Speaking of the Phoenix Suns, nice enough to join us. An original Sacramento King, 17 years in the NBA, an outstanding broadcaster for SiriusXM and, of course, the Suns. Eddie Johnson. Eddie, happy opening day. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. I just wanted to ask you, firstly here, what kind of teammate was new Kings assistant Mike Woodson, and what kind of job you think he's going to do on Doug Christie's bench this year?
Well, I mean, look, Woody is probably like my brother. You know, that's how close we are. I got off the phone with him a second ago.
Yeah.
You know, we fought against each other when he went to the University of Indiana. I was at Illinois. We didn't like each other then. And then I got drafted by the Kings. Then he got traded to the Kings in my first year. And I didn't even speak on him I didn't even speak to him when I got on the bus. He remembered that.
Yeah.
And after that, we've become best of friends. I mean, our families, we travel together in the off season. We see each other. So I'm one of his biggest supporters, man. I'm happy that he's back in the league. Thought he got a raw deal at his alma mater, University of Indiana. And, you know, he's an NBA coach, and he's going to help tremendously. Doug Christie, you know, you need veteran guys around you when you're a new coach. And I applaud Doug Christie for, you know, not having an ego and not being intimidated by having a guy next to him that has been a head coach in the league for a number of years, because I think that's going to enhance him, and it's going to really, I think, you know, make his career extra long because of the knowledge he's going to get from Woody.
Mm-hmm. It seems to me, Eddie, that a lot of the guys that were on that original Sacramento Kings team are still very close. Is that the case? Maybe that's not unusual, but it seems like a lot of guys, we talked to Tank and we talked to Reggie Theus, it seems like a lot of you guys are still very close.
Yeah, very close. And I think it's because, you know, when we played together, we were all young. We were all trying to figure it out. We were competing not only against the opponent, but actually for playing time against each other. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to balance all of that. Cotton Fitzsimmons was a tremendous coach, and he kept us together. We had a lot of functions together. We got to know each other's families, and it just stuck, man. And you're right. I mean, like I said, Woody's a tremendous friend. LaSalle's one of my best friends in the world, and Reggie's a great friend. So yeah, we have a connection, man, and it's great because that was the first Kings team back in 1985. And Otis Thorpe, we still in contact with him. It's like we all have stayed together since then.
Well, Eddie, before we talk about tomorrow night's game and this new era for Phoenix Suns basketball, what do you make of this current Kings roster? A lot of big names, a lot of talent, but can it work together? What do you think of the group?
Well, I think you just said it. I mean, can it work together? And I think it's up to the players. When you throw that out, then you got to say, okay, it's on the players. But without a doubt, I mean, in regards to offensive firepower, you all have it. Yeah, it's unfortunate Keegan Murray is out. From what I understand, he was having a really good camp. But you still got DeMar DeRozan, you got Zach LaVine, you got Sabonis. You got guys that can, I don't know if Sabonis is playing tomorrow or not, but still, you got guys that really can score the ball. Malik Monk off the bench, it's a problem. And if they can defend and share the ball, then they will have an opportunity, to place in the playoffs, whether it's play-in or top six. I do believe they have the talent to do it.
Mm-hmm. The great Eddie Johnson, nice enough to join us. And as you probably know, Eddie, Domas is going to miss the first two games with the hamstring strain. But one guy you didn't mention is a guy that a lot of fans around here are excited about. A lot of people are a little confused about how he fits in with all this. Russell Westbrook, what kind of fit do you think he might be here in Sacramento?
Well, the one thing you do know, he's missed all the training camps, but I would guarantee you he's in better shape than everybody that's on that team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the one thing that's always impressed me with Russ, is that you can tell he loves the game based on how he keeps himself in pristine condition to play the game. And it says a lot about the person in regards to how much they love the sport that they play. And look, he's polarizing. He's got tons of energy. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to do things that you probably say, oh, why did he do that? But you got to look at the full value of him. Full value of him is he gets along with his teammates. Every time I talk to people from wherever, they always say he's tremendous in the locker room with the young guys. And I root for him. I do. I just, people want to retire him. And I'm like, hold up. The guy can play as long as he wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
If teams are going to keep signing him, he plays. He had a good year in Denver last year. I thought he was very good for them. So, no, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem tomorrow. Like, I never enjoy going against him because you're going to have to beat him because he's not going to allow anybody to beat him with effort, and that's key.
Eddie, when you go through what the Phoenix Suns went through this summer, trading away Kevin Durant, moving on from Bradley Beal, when high-profile guys like that leave, a lot of people would naturally assume, okay, it's a reset, it's a restart. Devin Booker is still on this roster. We know how unbelievably talented he is. You bring in guys like Jalen Green, who's unfortunately not playing. He's out tomorrow, at least that's what the injury report has. Someone like Dylan Brooks, who's a win-now player, defensive-minded player, had a great year last year with the Houston Rockets. This is a Suns team that is definitely not in a reset stage. Am I right, Eddie? This is a team that's hungry to go out there and win some basketball games and do it on the backs of their defense.
Yeah, I would say it's a reset based on the players we lost.
Yeah.
Right? So we lose Kevin Durant. I mean, that's 27 a night, all-time great. Bradley Beal was probably our most efficient player last year. Shot close to 50, 40, 85, something like that. So when you lose those kind of guys, then, yeah, it's probably a reset if you didn't replace them with somebody comparable. Mm-hmm. Now, Jalen Green, he led the Rockets in scoring last year on the second-best record in the West, fourth best in the entire NBA. So you're talking about somebody who's 23 years old that can go out and get you 20 every night. So, yeah, that's a huge addition. Dylan Brooks had one of his best years shooting the ball last season, especially from the three. And we already know what his defense is going to do and how polarized he is in regards to energizing his team. So we got tremendous guys back. And then we got a lot of young players that, again, I think from an effort standpoint is just off the rails. Just from Grayson Allen to Jordan Goodwin, who we just signed, Rasheer Fleming, who we drafted, Ryan Dunn, who I think is going to be a tremendous player before his career is over, Mark Williams, who, if he's healthy, I can argue he could be one of the top 5 centers in the league based on his ability to score. So, yeah, we got a lot of question marks, right? Kalaman Malawach, I think we call him Man because I just can't be saying that name all year. He had his best preseason game in our last game against the Lakers. So it just showed how good he's going to be in the future. So we got a lot of young players that play hard, that want to play, and then we got Devin Booker, who is a walking 25 to 28 a game. I think possibly could lead the league in scoring this year because of it. So, yeah, any given night we can go out there and win, but it's going to be a struggle just because they're young.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, Kings fans are getting used to and getting familiar with some of the new players here. One of them might not play much this year, but he probably is going to start against you guys tomorrow night, and I know he spent a year in Phoenix. Tell us about Drew Eubanks, and I know he's a backup, but what kind of player was Drew Eubanks in Phoenix, and what do you think the Kings expect from him this year?
Hard worker. He's a hard worker. He's going to give you every ounce of energy he has. He's going to rebound the ball. You throw it up around the rim, he'll go get it and dunk it. He just plays with a ton of energy, and that's what teams need. Teams that have a lot of scores and not quote-unquote known as very good defenders. So it's always good to have a shot blocker behind you, a guy there to go get the rebound, one and done on one end, all of that. And then Drew Eubanks, he's that guy. He had a good run with us. I enjoyed watching him play. He got good minutes playing with us. And so I suspect that, it'll happen again.
Eddie, one of the questions I always love to ask at this time of the year before the season starts is, like, what will surprise people about this group? I asked the Kings about that, and Malik Monk said how fast the Kings play will surprise a lot of people. In your mind, what do you think it is about this Phoenix Suns team this year that will surprise the Kings tomorrow and will surprise the NBA this season?
I'm just telling you, just the size. One, you got 3 7-footers on this team, and I think that's an advantage. But more so than anything, I'm just telling you, just the work ethic. And these dudes run, so it's almost like Indiana Pacers 2.0. So just expect them to run, and pick up 94 feet. So like Oklahoma City. So it's a lot of that, that mentality that they're going to play with this year. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy to score on them because they're running guys in. You got a ton of wing players that if they get in foul trouble, you just throw another one out there. So I think that's the key. But, again, if Mark Williams is healthy, now you got a 3-headed monster at center, I think that's going to be huge for him.
Eddie, I wanted to ask you about Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine had a phenomenal shooting year last year. Of course, he got caught up in De'Aaron Fox trade. He was involved in the trade, and he came here amidst a lot of uncertainty. His numbers were good, but now it looks like he's going to be the guy offensively for the Kings. How big is this opportunity for him, and what do you think he can do with it, being presumably the point of the offensive spear for the Kings?
Well, one of the things I think that Zach has been, people don't really give him credit for is he's highly efficient as a scorer.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about the other things and all of that, and then people always got the go-to move is they don't play defense. Okay, the hardest thing to do in basketball is put that orange ball in the basket. And, it's just funny to me. A lot of people want to deviate and go to the defense, right? And the only reason they do that is because they couldn't score. So they try to belittle scoring like it's so damn easy. It's not. It's hard. And this guy does it well. I mean, you think about his career, he's shooting 47% from the field. Last 2 years, he shot 51% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's very efficient. And then from three, last 3 years, he shot almost 45% from the field. Last 2 years, that is.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
3 years, excuse me.
Yeah.
Last 3 years, 45%. So, yeah, you leave him open, he's going to kill you from three. He can go off the dribble and get the three. You foul him, he shoots 83% from the line. So, yeah, I mean, he's a pristine scorer. He and DeMar DeRozan, if the game is close in the 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how they're going to have to win this year.
Eddie, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time, I know you as a media member, you're probably on Basketball Reference a lot. I know I am. And Basketball Reference, on the page of players like yourself, current and former players, they have nicknames. And I wanted to see if anyone has ever actually called you any of these nicknames they have for you on Basketball Reference. They have 3. They have the man who put the J in jump shot, they have the smooth shooter, and they have Piggy. And have those ever actually been any of Eddie Johnson's nicknames?
Yeah, the man who put the J in jump shot is my ex-partner, and he still calls games. That's Tom Leander.
Yeah.
So that's what he always refers to me when we call games together.
Yeah.
The smooth shooter is Kevin Ray.
Yeah.
Who is right now the current Suns play-by-play.
Uh-huh.
And Piggy is my nickname. If you go to my old neighborhood in Chicago, my name's not Eddie. Okay, my family, anybody in my family, and I got a huge family, they don't call me Eddie. They call me Piggy. They call me Pig. That was my nickname growing up, and it stuck. And like I said, anybody in Chicago that grew up with me or any of my family and friends, that's what they call me by. Yeah, so Eddie and Edward and Ed, that's never mentioned around my family. And one or two of my sisters and brothers might do it every now and then, but no, that's my nickname.
Can we ask how you got that nickname?
Yeah, I don't know. My mom, I was 2 feet when I was born, so I used to eat a lot as a little one. So that's how it stuck. But everybody in my family had nicknames. Like I grew up in a family of 7, right? So one of my brother's name was Mikey. His name was Michael.
Yeah.
The other one, my brother's name was Darren. We called him Bunny. Okay. My sister, her name was Tina. We call her Teeny. And my mother, believe it or not, her name is Doris, and we call her Di. D-I. So we all had nicknames growing up. You had to have something because, those meals didn't always come.
Gotcha.
So you had to talk about each other, have fun, and make fun of each other just to be able to tire ourselves out and go to sleep.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for your time, Eddie. Good luck tomorrow night. We appreciate it, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
Eddie Johnson.
Piggy.
You can call him that. I'm not calling him.
No, absolutely not. Not to his face. I'll say it from the safety of this room and the miles that separate us. But hey, now we know.